Hello, you're doing the thing. He did the thing.
You did the thing. But there's no live.
We're live.
Alright, awesome.
And we are here, alright.
Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is the special Labor Day weekend edition of The Raven's Flock.
Hello.
Why are you trying to sound evil?
Because the Raven is a dark creature, and I have to sound dark as well.
Misunderstood. No, don't. We're not dark.
Right, well,
We are but the humble messengers of the All-Father Odin, bringing forth his words and spreading his wisdom to the masses that may or may not choose to listen to us in the foreseeable future. I mean, they didn't listen to us at the beginning of the year.
That's right, they didn't.
I'm not saying anything happened because of
I
it.
don't know what you're talking about, man. When I see a raven, it's all dark and depressing and stuff, man.
Listen, put down the corn CD, and let's get down to business to defeat the Huns.
Let's get down to it. You know what? We'll get to that. We will get to that. There's a lot we need to talk about. Joining me on my left is the host of Los Amigos Play, Mr. Angel Mendez.
Hello everyone,
And
it is
joining
good
me-
to be here again.
And joining on my right is the host of the Black Files and the man who puts in the hours to bring the best production quality of the Ravens Flock content for all our social media outlets, Mr. Juan Arouse.
The man.
Right, you put a mister on the front. You put some respect on my name.
Oh, so it's okay to hype you if I say Mr. Juan Arouse.
No, if you're going to hype me, you're going to put some respect on my name and put the mister in the front.
Okay then.
And
El
don't you
Señor
forget the mister.
Juan Aroused.
Senor Juan Arouse.
Sí.
Yes, indeed,
Not
folks.
senor. I am not senor.
But
I'm
Mr.
not
means
gonna-
Señor.
I'm not going to be senior.
All right.
Or
No, I never said senior, I said
Or
Señor.
senor.
That's what I meant.
Mr. Motherfucker.
But that is what he means, motherfucker. That's what he means.
I'm being very Englishist.
Are you accusing my genes?
I'm being linguist at you.
How dare you?
I bet you if we were in England, he would want to be called Sir Juan Arouse, huh? You want to be knighted?
No, he'll be like, Sir Juan Rouse, eh, Gov?
I'm not allowed to be knighted. I'm not English born.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm
Wait,
not.
only by being born are you allowed to be knighted?
Like, if you have to be a natural born citizen of the UK to be knighted.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right.
We should steal knighthood from them. We already stole everything else.
All the silly banter aside, folks,
Colonialism.
thank you. We are live on youtube.com/theravensflock and twitch.tv/theravensflock online. If you're watching right now, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, stay updated on all our media content. If you wish to drop questions and comments, leave your comments down below. If you're watching on your laptop screen, leave your comments all the way to the left.
Well, to
What?
or right.
To your right.
Which is
if
our
you're,
left.
if you're watching from your mobile device, leave your comments down below. We will answer all questions and comments in the hour and a half duration that we are live.
That's right, folks. And we encourage you to please share this content with your friends. Hit the notification bell. Hit that subscribe button. Please follow the Ravens Flock. Spread the word and let your voice be heard. Because remember, being a part of the Ravens Flock means that we're helping to make your voice our mission.
Just a moment.
Absolutely.
I apologize. Let me just... I'm looking at the line. I just wanted to make sure I didn't turn on my microphone too high. Just checking this here. Okay.
Are we good? I'm
Okay,
good.
perfect.
All
Sorry
right,
about that. I was afraid that I was going to ratchet it up a little too loud. I don't want to screw up the sound quality. I
If you
apologize.
want, I can turn your thing down a little.
Just a little, because I feel like I'm hitting the red a little too much there. And okay.
Well, to be fair, you have a low pitch, so that compensates.
Yes. Okay, see, I hit static when I do that. Okay, give me a second. Okay, perfect. Now
right,
we can
cool.
do it. I apologize. Just wanted to make sure that it was correct.
No, it's all right. Before we continue on, I want to give a big honorable mentions to both Angel Mendez and Casper Oliver of the Ravens Flock.
What's up, Casper?
Angel Mendez currently has his own separate Twitch page where he does his own video game
Channel.
His own Twitch channel where he does his own video game streaming service. And be sure to hop in and say hi to him. Like what you like. Don't be a dick to our friend here, or he'll be a bigger dick back to you.
Yes.
He will.
I am always the largest of penises.
Yes, he
My
is.
motto has been still the same. Have fun and shit post responsibly.
Indeed, Casper Oliver, if I'm not mistaken, currently is hosts a podcast which gives us a little bit of insight into the theater aspect. Or can you shed some light on that?
Okay, I'll figure you in. Casper Oliver, he's one of our members of the Ravens Flock. He is running two separate podcasts. One is called The Queer Experience. It is insight into the world of theater from members of the LGBT community. And there's a story podcast that he's hosting as well called Jar with Rebuke. It's actually gaining a lot of steam. It's an urban fantasy type story. It's very much in the veins of Welcome to Night Vale, except of course it's its own story. And already he's getting fan art made of his character, Dr. Jared Hell, and I gotta say, I got nothing but love for Art Casper. He is one of the most beautiful souls you'll ever meet. Go show him some love. Check out his podcast. It's available everywhere where you can get it. And again, follow and tune in and subscribe to Angel's Twitch channel as well, which is Burst Angel 15.
Absolutely, yes. And of course, our other members of the Ravens flock, Dragon Fan Cosplay and Zayana Rose Cosplay, they have their own pages, they have their own business. And as the head honcho of the Ravens flock, I will never ever fault any of my cast members to go into business for themselves, especially during this time of the pandemic. We all need to make some sort of side hustle every now and then.
Especially considering we don't pay at the Ravens flock. We really don't have any money.
But we are so rich in exposure.
Yes, we are.
It's a net worth, you see. It increases with the stocks.
I am dyed with exposure.
Yes.
Stop touching my shoulder. I'm
my belly sluggish with exposure meat.
Oh my god. Look at all the exposure food and drink that I'm consuming.
Holographic meatloaf, my favorite.
Now,
Does this look like Blade Runner 2049?
I was making a SpongeBob
we eat
joke,
a
bro.
bowl of Jello.
Yes.
That's got protein and crap in it. But we have a hologram of a nice meatloaf on top.
Is it wrong that I still want to kind of taste those?
That you want to taste the Jello? It's basically like tofu, but without tofu.
Yeah,
It's like tofu for people who don't like tofu.
So it's flavorless gelatin with nutrients.
Yes.
That being said,
Damn it.
I wish I could say the same for other companies and other organizations who have their own personnel going into business for themselves.
WWE.
It was earlier.
World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yep, get it out. It's
Hey, excuse me. Oh my gosh.
Allergies is a thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, if one doesn't show up in a week or so, that means he got the Rona and he's dead. I'm sorry.
Oh, shut up. It's just basic allergies. You read too much into things, man. You need to get your head out of the newspaper.
My mind is telling me no, but his lungs are telling me.
I think he's got the Rona.
Well, maybe I do. Maybe
All
I
right,
can
all right.
deal with the plan.
All right, joking aside, yes, it is reported this week that WWE has issued a ban on all of their talent and forbidding them from going to business for themselves via third-party media contents. Juancho, what are some examples of media contents?
Primarily, one of the channels that we're on, Twitch.
Yes.
They're not allowed to have their own Twitch channel now, along
That's
with
bullshit.
the personalized messaging platform called Cameo. You may know this basically as you have a celebrity, they have their own page, they have a set price. If you pay them directly that said X amount of dollars, they will make a custom message for you.
Yeah.
One example that you can get, Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman himself,
Oh.
Batman the Animated Series. If you spot like, I don't know, $200 or something, I don't remember, he will give you a custom greeting in the voice of Batman. One of our buddies, the Lord and Ruler of the Popcorn Planet, Mr. Andy Signor, he bugged about, hey, if you guys really like me, my birthday was coming up, maybe somebody could get Kevin Conroy to give me a happy birthday as Batman. That'd be cool. Like, I wanted to so badly because he's a cool dude and he deserves to be Batman, but not like that. I was just too broke.
I mean, it would be pretty hilarious to have Kevin Conroy just say some outlandish bullshit for $200.
But you're not going to get any of that crap in the WWE because the WWE likes to hold everyone down. They like to have a chokehold on every bit of property that they have with their talent.
And even
the
things
fact
that-
that they're signed as independent contractors.
Even things that aren't their property, like their actual real name.
And then, yes,
So stupid.
In a call throughout the addressing the entire talent, Vince McMahon, the chairman of the WWE, has issued the following statement. Some of you are engaged with outside third parties using your name and likeness in ways that are detrimental to our company. It is imperative that these activities be terminated within the next 30 days by Friday, October the 2nd.
What the
Continued violations will result in fines, suspensions, or termination at WWE's discretion.
So essentially, stop all the side hustling or you're gonna get fired. They are basically telling you, we own you, and don't you dare show it. Oh wait, they made a statement about it. They say, much like Disney and Warner Bros., WWE creates, promotes, and invests on its intellectual property, i.e. stage names of performers, like, you know, the friend Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Big E, and blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
They're
The Fiend
essentially
Bray
saying
Wyatt.
because the company invested on their personas, they are legally not allowed to use their personas for anything else unless the company says, you get to do it now.
And what article is that?
This is an article.
Bleach Report. Okay,
Yeah,
and
Bleach
what did you
Report.
get yours to say?
I screenshotted mine through Wrestle Talk, the statement, the message from Vince McMahon. Now, there was another article.
Brief.
Yeah.
Go on, Jose.
Now, there's a lot of speculation. There's not yet a confirmed reason as to what would be the last straw that may have caused this.
Now, one theory was going about that the phenomenal AJ Styles, who has his own Twitch streaming gaming channel, he was going off the mouth on his own personal Twitch stream channel and saying crap about WWE that didn't help.
So the face attached to the PR was saying things that the PR was not very happy to hear, essentially.
He mentioned on his recent his recent stream that he did test positive for Corona a while back.
And these guys have been very vocal and very, very stringent on, oh, hey, don't mention anything about the virus.
Of
the
course.
virus doesn't exist at WWE.
What do you
We
mean?
have the greatest sports entertainer
Corona.
performers in the world.
Corona is a myth, don't you
It's
know?
a myth. It's a conspiracy.
What about Shinsuke Nakamura, who is technically an Asian wrestler? He doesn't exist
He
either.
doesn't exist either.
He's a myth. Do you think any wrestler would be stupid enough to make an intro with violence? Impossible. He's only a mass
Well,
hallucination.
what about that 1 year when he came in with a combination of violence, that one sexy guitar woman, but totally mad?
That was the result of Aizen's Chicago.
Now, in a recent tweet, one of the journalists, Dave Meltzer of the
Not one off the journalist.
Right.
Wrestling journalist.
Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, basically he made a statement, and this is his speculation. He believed that it was caused by one of the WWE female stars. Her name is Lana. Basically, he said the straw that broke the camel's back was C.J. Perry (parentheses Lana's) Bang energy drink commercials.
As in
why?
she got a side hustle deal with Bang Energy, which it tastes fine, but like she got hustled with them and got a commercial and was like, oh, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. They're not allowed to do third party shit.
You know what this means to me? It means to me that they are making money that should be our money. That feels like the reason why this is
I'm
happening.
gonna give you her actual fucking response here.
So Lana responded.
I am not, like, her
This
words,
should be-
and I
this
quote,
should
you
be
can look this
great.
tweet up for yourself. I am not the straw that broke the camel's back. You know who you are, and that is false. But thank you for writing about me,
Interesting.
all of you. I am your scapegoat.
Oh, damn.
No, not scapegoat, scapegoat.
So she knows that she's getting thrown under the bus as the reason why this happened.
Yeah.
I guarantee you this probably has been, I mean, we are no strangers to wrestlers using their image to promote products. This kind of thing happened all the time in the 90s. And a little more until, it kept happening until WWE began to decline in popularity and the image of the wrestler didn't become this catch all, sell all the toys kind of thing. But yeah, it strikes me that now that WWE is in,
Shall we say less than favorable PR?
sinking into a sea of shit,
Very much.
for lack of a better term, they need to hang on to all the money they can get. And that means that if a wrestler is doing a side gig, that means that wrestler is not doing main gigs.
But here's the thing, how is this going to affect the stars who are basically in higher spots, like AJ Styles? AJ Styles was one of the longest reigning WWE champions. He's one of the top stars right now on SmackDown.
They're going to get pissed. Well, see, AJ Styles is still making enough money with his main contract because, as you said, he's one of the top stars. He's not in a position where he forcefully has to get a side gig, but he's got the Rona, which means that whatever he's doing is on hold until he gets cured, which means he's got to find a way to make that cash. Contrary to popular belief, just because you're worth a lot of money doesn't mean you have a lot of money. Please remember that.
You gotta remember something that's really kind of fucked up in this.
Excuse me. What?
You gotta understand something. The WWE has been operating out of their performance center since the beginning of this virus. They only just now moved to a residency at the sports arena in Orlando.
The Amway Center.
Yeah, the Amway Center
Oh,
arena.
Christ. Thank you for reminding me that building existed.
That's the home place for the Thunderdome.
I know.
That's their
Damn.
new, they moved out from their performance gym area center to a proper arena, and the Thunderdome thing is where they filled up the crowd area with stream, with Zoom meeting fucking screens all over, and they have a residency there for the next, 3 or 4 months or something.
Okay, fair enough.
And they're actually only paying about $250,000 to stay there for that entire time.
That is surprisingly cheap considering the size of that building and its location.
And they're basically renting it out full stop without any admission, with nothing. Like, they're not running house shows as in, like, non-televised events. They're not selling tickets. They're not making other live appearances. You would imagine that this would make a situation where the WWE is hurting for money, right?
Yes. I mean...
Wrong!
Why, though?
Because of all the money that they saved in trying to get broadcasting for their live events, movement, shipping around all their stuff, shipping around their wrestlers, trying to get tickets and like the loss and all that stuff for the arena. No, they don't have to worry about making that money. And they wound up in turn saving money and making a profit by means of not selling shit.
See, there's one thing
It's
I don't
so
get.
fucked up and it's so weird.
There's one thing that I don't understand. I understand. You guys told me this. I'll be the first to admit I don't have that much knowledge of WWE except for what you guys tell me. But I understand that you told me that recently WWE, in order to combat its diving costs, is trying to promote the new stars, right? Somewhat. You would think that being able to use third-party features like Twitch or Cameo or any chat service to introduce the stars to the fans and have them interact would be a smart idea, especially now in a time when the average fan simply cannot get out of the house and meet their favorite stars in the table to get an autograph. You can't, because if you get too close, they will flex and their sweat will kill you. You would think the smart thing to do would be allow third-party communication, because it's a good way to get people to connect to each other. Social media is, ironically enough, more prevalent now than it has ever been before. But here we are seeing the classic effects. Oh, fuck, I just remember. Vince McMahon is so out of touch. That man is basically coughing up corpse dust, isn't he? He doesn't know how it works.
He's also the WWE is not afraid to do anything and everything to not only make some sort of profit, but also to make sure that all of their talent are not only locked exclusively to WWE, but make sure that they are promoting good PR, good publicity, instead of what they would think as bad publicity.
As
the problem
problematic.
is, this dumbass is still working on like 2000s advertising technology when MySpace was still a thing. I don't. Once again,
this is the same company that fired 60+ people in April just so that they can save money and build their capital.
That's another reason why they made a profit, because they laid off half of their fucking people.
Didn't Vince used to wrestle back in the day?
Not as like a wrestler.
Okay.
He wrestled as part of storylines and stuff.
But herein lies the problem.
Freak, though.
At the end of the day, Vince is the same thing that brings many companies to ruin. A man in a suit with more dollars than common sense, thinking that they know better than everyone else. And we are seeing the results of that philosophy once more for the third fucking time this year.
The problem is,
Christ.
This guy, on the one hand, 20 years ago, he was at the forefront of the professional wrestling business. He knows this stuff. Or rather, he knew what would keep people going and what would keep people watching and entertained and how to tailor their shit.
But the times have changed, have they not?
And he hasn't kept up, regrettably. And what's also really dumb about all this is that, like you said, you'd imagine, hey, these third-party deals would be fine. It would be fine.
By the way, sorry to interrupt you. In case you wonder if I yawned, it's not because I'm bored. This is actually fascinating. It's because I just had alcohol and the temperature in this room is incredibly comfortable. It's this beautiful combination of cool air and warmth, and bro, I am relaxed as hell.
All right, I'm actually gonna fix that in a minute. I was meaning.
You're gonna just inject cocaine in my ballsack. Got it.
Yeah, but go on.
The point is, you'd think that what most people would think. Yeah, Angel makes a point. Third-party deals would be good for bringing the brand. You forget the asterisk at the end.
Which is?
As long as WWE brokers the deals and sets the profit margins for the deals.
Of course.
Do you remember the infamous and glorious interview of CM Punk?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He was actually, one of his complaints on this was okay, I was approached personally by Slim Jims. I was going to be the new spokesperson for Slim Jims. Like
Imagine
Randy
him
Savage.
being the next Randy Savage.
Like, no, that was literally part
What
of
an
the
amazing
interview,
world that would
and
be.
literally part of like the way they pitched it to him. Like, oh hey, we'll make you the next big guy of Slim Jim. Never before since Randy Savage was anyone going to be big on it. And they send him home with free Slim Jim shit and free products. Like, okay, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be cool. And WWE's promotional people came in with and they basically said, "Oh no, you don't want CM Punk. You want Rey Mysterio, The Big Show, and Eve Torres to be your spokesperson."
But why?
But that's 3 people, and oh no, it's okay. You know why? Because you don't have to pay them nearly as much as you have to pay CM Punk.
And
Well,
there
that's a
it
good
is.
deal for you.
And there
And
it is.
we get our people's promoted here. See? And you get 3 for the price of 1.
And there
Like,
it
they were
is.
basically doing, he was even talking about how, like, oh, they gave me mock-ups for, like, the idea for their commercial, like, oh, like, summer camp Slim Jim, and you're going to be this hard-ass, like, drill instructor of a camp counselor, like, oh, you fell off a tree and broke your arm, fuck you, eat a Slim Jim. You'll be okay.
Oh,
And
man.
it
So it would have been in the
was
style
a
of Terry
beautiful-
Crews Old Spice commercials, just stupid over the top.
Yeah.
That sells, during that time, that sold
Yeah.
pretty well.
And instead, they just got basically the other 3 wrestlers in front of a green screen. Hey, eat a Slim Jim.
Boo.
Brother, no.
Brother,
If
no.
you are to inherit the spirit of Randy Man Macho Savage, may his glorious spirit rest in power, you gotta bring charisma to the screen. You gotta...
Captain Jennyside is lurking over on our Twitch stream. Hey, Jenny.
Oh, hey,
Hi,
Jenny, what's up?
thank you for
I
joining us.
hope you enjoy the stream. What I was
Now-
getting into, you need to bring your gravitas, your ethos to the... You need to get on that fucking stadium and do a performance. You gotta cut a promo for Slim Jims.
Oh, no, you don't understand.
Oh, what's up?
You have to cut a promo fashioned by WWE
Bruh.
for Slim Jim.
So, essentially,
No.
in their obsession to save money, they are purposely avoiding commercializing techniques and methods that would give them more profit and more permanence in the long run. Is that what you're saying?
Because
That's right. And Lana was not the only one that spoke out about it. Former WWE talent, his name is Andrew Yang, formerly as Jimmy Wang Yang.
wait.
Okay, that was a
Andrew
purpose.
Yang.
No, what? No, what? Is that not? I thought that was Andrew Yang, the politician.
Lord,
Hang on, look him
Lord Penis has spoken.
Hang on, folks. We're going to do some fact check. Look
Hang
up
on.
Andrew Yang, and you'll
You
see.
hear what I'm saying?
No.
Oh, he's a politician.
Yeah,
Never mind.
he was
It's
the
a
pol-
Yang.
You thought... You
Yang.
jackass.
Shut up.
All bad.
You thought it was Jimmy Wang Yang? I would have kicked your ass. Oh
Go
my
me.
god.
My bad on my end.
Gomina, sorry.
Yes. He did issue a statement basically saying, if I'm not the Secretary of Labor, I'm pretty confident I'll have his or her number to talk about the ridiculous classification of WWE wrestlers as independent contractors while controlling their name and likeness for years, even for something as benign as Cameo. Come on, Vince. You've already deprived the folks breaking their backs for you of health care, security, recovery time, retirement, benefits, and fair treatment regarding licenses and royalties. At least let them make a living off their own names. Many of them need it. I grew up a wrestling fan, and it's been sad to see so many of my childhood heroes pass away early. I feel better knowing that they and their families were being fairly treated.
Oh, jeez. Real quick, on our YouTube stream, Geeks5Ever is saying hi, and Jay Spurn is saying, what about Up, Down, Down, the series that Xavier Woods is doing? Put that man to sleep, Angel, and need some Slim Jims right now.
Yes, I do.
Okay, Up, Down, Down, if I remember correctly, is actually a WWE property now because Xavier Woods couldn't keep his own YouTube channel. They took it from him, and WWE produces it, and it's PP.
Yeah, it
No
is.
surprises there. Guys,
Anyways, continuing from what
Sorry, go
Andrew
ahead.
Yang said, I'm
Quickly.
sorry.
No, it's cool, go ahead.
I look forward to doing what I can for the next generation performance. I know how tough it is. Vince, you better hope your old friend Donald, referring to Donald Trump, wins, because changes in the air and changes are long overdue when your corrupt labor practices are concerned. It would give me great pleasure. The people know.
damn.
Alright.
I have a question.
I'm going to get a fan real quick, but you ask your question.
What was his name?
What's your
Invisible Man.
John Cena.
John Cena is known for being kind of a hero to the children. You know, he loves to do charity show-ups and such. He loves to be like play the good guy. He's the face of faces. Does that mean that as long as he's not properly sponsored by WWE, he's not allowed to do charity anything anymore?
Well, here's the thing. John Cena is currently not under any contract with WWE.
Ah, okay. So
If you are under contract with WWE, then the WWE will likely tell you to stop doing business with third-party content.
You know, it's a good thing that he's actually trying to work himself into a filming career. Because
Yeah.
I don't know what Hollywood will do to that man, but it cannot be any worse than what the WWE has done to everyone that has worked with him.
Dude, John Cena was one of the highest-paying talents in the WWE before he basically said goodbye and go into the filming career. He has enough money to retire.
Maybe he did the smart thing, you know? Didn't you guys told me this many years ago when I asked them what was the point of getting into a career where you get hurt so much, and you guys said you gotta get rich, so you gotta get out as quickly as possible.
As Stone Cold Steve Austin had said, you get into the business to get out of the business.
I'm trying
That
to
was
use
his line.
wrestling as a business to end wrestling as a business.
Yeah,
Maybe John Cena had
Is
the...
that better, by the way?
Much better, thank you. Maybe John Cena had the right idea, you know? He's like, I made my money, my body's still working, I just saw CM Punk fall down on the ground and a seat the size of my fist explode out of his back. I should go.
I think I should call it a career, yeah.
You know,
Like,
he
what
made a
if-
movie where he had a freaking funnel in his ass spewing alcohol.
Yes, and
Somehow
now
that
he's
feels
also-
slightly more
And now
dignified.
he's also in a cartoon with Kat Dennings playing a trucker robot.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you don't know the animated show Dallas and Robo?
That's him?
That's John Cena as Robo.
Oh, no.
You know what?
Kat
That's
Dennings
cool.
is Dallas.
Also, I noticed that he gets involved into the Transformers franchise. He played the general man in Bumblebee.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
Like, I love that. He's like, you're literally going to take the words of an alien race called
the
Decepticons.
Like, you know what?
Shit.
Okay, thank you for letting me know about this.
man.
Props to Mr. Cena for taking the high road and just going, I made my money, my body's still in one piece. Let me get the hell out of here.
Unfortunately, we can't say the same for the rest of the talent that are currently locked in contract with WWE.
See,
That
that's
is
one of
just
the
terrible, man.
That's like one of the like big fucked up things that people are really pissed off about. And like you mentioned before, it's the issue of you guys are going to call them independent contractors, but you're going to tell them what to do, where they go, how they're allowed to make their money, how they're not allowed to make their money. They have to pay for their own health care. They have to file for their own taxes. They have to arrange for their own transportation.
Really? Not even that? Not even a bus?
No, not even a bus.
You
Half
think
the
they
guy-
would rent him like an
half the
Uber
guy-
or something?
Like half the guys carpool with each other. Like if you remember seeing
These people are supposed to be richer than all of us combined.
if you
What the
remember
fuck?
seeing the CM Punk documentary, he's like, I actually managed to lease out or buy a touring bus because he used to drive himself, and it kills him on his knees, so he would hire a driver, and he would pack it, the touring bus, with a couple of other wrestlers who were friends with him. Like, okay, guys, we're going to hop in this tour bus.
Jesus.
We'll sleep here. We'll ride there. We'll pay this guy. It's cheaper in the long run and better for us health-wise than
Yeah.
cramming into a fucking Enterprise rent-a-car.
Imagine.
I know they have nice cars, but I'm like,
man.
you cramping yourself and stressing yourself to drive when you could be sleeping and resting at least, or at least
Caring
taking
for
a
the man.
shower or some shit.
Can you imagine buying your extra expensive ticket to the WWE Slam Down, Summer Smack, Winter Beatdown, Autumn Hell Down, whatever event, and seeing your wrestlers walking out there struggling under the weight of emaciated, atrophied muscles? Because they had to do a 7-hour drive from one state to
Ace
another.
Burner is saying he does probably have a likeness deal for Toys of John Cena. He's just too big for WWE to control now.
Ah, so he grew so powerful they couldn't tell him what to do.
Pretty much.
Look at that, just makes it even sadder. The only man who managed to escape became so strong that its gravitational pull couldn't hold him as he skyrocketed into the atmosphere.
Pretty much. The WWE has gotten away with their stupid contractual deals. Basically, while they have their WWE superstars as independent contractors, they're still signed exclusively to WWE, but it also exempts the WWE from paying all other expenses.
Well,
That just feels like a deal that... I know the house is supposed to always win, but it feels like all the odds are stacked so highly against them. Like, this is a good way to convince anybody to never take up a career in wrestling ever again.
Oh yeah, and if this latest development doesn't cause some sort of union to strike against the WWE,
There is no wrestling union.
No,
the
there
last person who tried to create a pro wrestlers union was Jesse the Body Ventura, and it got shut down and killed out. And Jesse Ventura basically got thrown out of the company. And guess who snitched him out to Vince McMahon?
Who did
Yes, Hulk Hogan.
Of course.
Do you know why?
Oh, Hulkster, to think we once looked up to you so much.
Do you know why?
Why?
Think. If there's a union, that means there's set rules for how much guys get paid. That cuts into Hulk Hogan's check.
So once again, it boils down to what was that again that Mr.
Cash and
Lincoln said?
creative.
Every man can withstand adversity, but if you wish to see a man's true measure, give them
him power.
Power.
By the way,
Pony
Jose, about the thing with Jimmy Wang Yang, his real name is James Yoon, and he doesn't have a Twitter from what we can tell.
How much you want to bet his actual name actually still is?
Apologize for that. Why are you gonna?
No, it's okay.
It's just a correction and giving an addendum there.
We do
Now
live
learn.
research here. We make mistakes, we understand, we get better. That's how we work through this.
Alright, so folks, yes, please leave your comments down there. Give us your thoughts about the latest development for the WWE. Do you honestly think that the talent who are working for the WWE should go to business for themselves to make their own side money? Or do you think that WWE, in their own crazy ways, is right about keeping their talents locked in more ways than one?
This feels like a Faustian contract. Like you signed. Remember that scene in The Little
Faustian
Mermaid
Morgan.
when she's like,
The poor
"Now
unfortunate
see."
soul.
And I'm like, I'm getting a
Go
bit of,
ahead, make a
I'm getting a
choice.
very wrinkly Ursula vibe.
Hold on.
Also, I could never take that movie seriously because Ursula looked a lot like my grandma. It's okay though, my grandma was the nicest, sweetest old lady in the world. Her cheekbones were a little more full, but body proportion wise, hairstyle wise, voice wise, that woman was my grandma. And I'm like, Grandma, stop trying to fuck with Ariel, please. Like, this is getting Grandma, stop, this is getting weird.
This poor unfortunate soul.
Now wrestle. Now cut that promo. Point in case is, we are seeing the effects of good old-fashioned greed getting out of control once more to the detriment of both the people that work in the company, the stars of the company, and the reputation of the company itself. Isn't this why that other company is gaining momentum? Because they're basically doing...
Because they're basically saying, hey, let's not do that.
How about we don't treat you like trash?
Yeah!
That sound good? Okay, cool. How do you feel about medical insurance?
Yeah!
Okay, we're making steps. Let's get in my office. Let's talk a contract.
No, exactly. And you know, these wrestlers, like, if they're not high on the card and if they're not getting paid as much as the big top talent, they need to make as much income as they can on the side.
It's hard right now with this economy, my man.
Like I said, get in the business and get out of the business.
Yeah,
Wrestling
man.
in this economy?
Oh, Jace Burner saying Jimmy Wang Yang for president.
You know what?
Easy, boy.
Believe in the Wang. The Wang can do it. The Wang can make America great again.
Believe in the Yang.
No, because the Yang requires the Yin to perform the perfect balance.
Jace Burner, Vince realizes he's losing control and he thinks that he can stop the individuals by pulling back crap.
I could see it happening. Vince is known to tighten the leash whenever he feels like the strings are getting away from his grubby little fingers.
One little thing that might be strewn as an example, former wrestler slash still talent for the WWE, Paige, she changed the name for her Twitch channel from Paige WWE's Twitch channel to Soraya Official. Her real first name is Soraya. So she changed her name to that, like, almost on the fly.
Perhaps to avoid it.
Yeah, like that's like, sorry, this isn't wrestling related. This is me. This is personal. You can't touch me.
You know what this brings home
Smart
to?
move on that.
Brings-
Smart move, Paige, Soraya, whichever name.
You ever heard of stories of students getting in trouble or workers getting fired because they shit talk their jobs on social media?
Yes.
I believe that they're trying to avoid that. They know that they have treated their stars like dog shit on the side of the road. And now these stars are not getting paid enough, are not treated well, and well, you can only tighten the leash so much before the dog starts to choke, man.
Pretty much.
I believe one beautiful hair-bunned, totally innocent senator that wasn't running away from an imperial blockade had once said to Governor Wilhuff Tarkin, "The more you tighten your grip, Tarkin, the more star systems will slip through your fingers."
The wise words of Carrie Fisher, one of the greatest actresses of all time.
She died bathed in starlight, strangled by her own bra.
Oof.
Yes, indeed.
To be fair
Well, that's
though,
what she said she
could be
wanted.
worse ways to go, huh?
Well, like that's
Hey, Joel!
Good point.
Hey
No,
man,
but,
I'm
like,
just saying,
I
Carrie
guess it
Fisher
is-
is like, I'm doing lines of cocaine before this conference. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know.
But like there actually are worse ways to go, and one of the most painful ways to go is silently, quietly having to fight your own personal battles and trying to keep your dignity with you for as long as you can. And that is what, like, almost 2 weeks ago now, is what we had heard from the late great Chadwick Boseman.
We were going to address this on our last week for another episode, but due to unforeseen circumstances that's outside of our control, we didn't have a chance to do so.
As you know, Mr. Chadwick Boseman played the iconic role of the Black Panther in the Avengers Civil War. He also played his parts in Infinity War, End of Zawardo Infinity War, and of course the iconic and well-received movie Black Panther. He was characterized for being a very polite fellow, excellent professional actor, and just overall a pretty cool guy. Unfortunately, since the beginning of his filming career, or rather the one that launched him into stardom, Mr. Boseman was battling with a rather severe case of cancer, one that unfortunately claimed his life not too long ago.
It was actually pretty messed up. You see, Chadwick Boseman, he's been acting for a very long time already, and he already made an excellent name for himself. He played Jackie Robinson in the film 42.
Oh, wow.
He played
It's been a
James
while.
Brown.
Yeah!
The movie was called Get On Up, if I remember correctly.
Isn't that song Jackie Chan sang in that tuxedo movie?
Yes.
Sex Machine!
He also played Thurgood Marshall, like the iconic lawyer who helped in the civil rights movement in the film Marshall. He has an excellent repertoire of having these iconic roles, and he brought nothing but gravitas and respect to these roles. And he is also an excellent action star. They had him in that really god awful dumb movie Gods of Egypt, and he
I
played.
never saw that one.
It's okay, almost no one did. But for what it's worth, he was dignified in that role too.
Hey man, if you're getting paid, you might as well give them the money's worth, you know? Like,
Yeah,
say
true.
what you will about Mr. Boseman's previous acting career, but the man brought his A game time after time.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Juan was finishing.
And the one big thing that was going on was like you said, when he joined up with the MCU and to appear in 2016's Captain America: Civil War. That follows with the Black Panther film, then Avengers: Infinity War, and finally Avengers: Endgame. Those were his 4 appearances that he made in the MCU. Right at that point was when he had discovered, and at his own discretion chose not to disclose to anyone else in the public, that he had stage 3 colon cancer. And he was fighting it tooth and nail the
And
entire
you imagine
time.
doing all those stunts with colon cancer, bro?
God, man.
Now,
Like, wow, holy sh...
the thing that was really fucked up was that earlier this year, like we'd seen some photos of him like in between films and stuff, and Chadwick Boseman was looking almost rail thin. You saw that he had lost weight in his face. He was wearing baggier looking sweaters, but he was still just like, it looks like, okay, I guess he's just letting himself relax and defuse
Yeah.
physically between films. People were actually making fun of him on that, like, oh, look at that, he doesn't take his role seriously, he's not staying jacked.
To be fair,
He's not
though,
staying,
to be
like,
fair to the
that's
idiotic
stupid,
masses, nobody knew. As far as we knew, he was just letting himself go because, little known fact, the majority of Hollywood actors don't usually go out of their way to keep perfectly chiseled Greek body-like physiques. They do it for the movie, and then in between they get to relax because maintaining that kind of musculature requires an extremely stringent diet, and sometimes, remember how Hugh Jackman dehydrated himself so his muscles would stand up against his skin, and as a result his veins look like freaking tension cables running through his arms?
Yes.
It looked the part, but I cannot imagine how incredibly uncomfortable that must be. So when we see an actor not looking their best, we make the jokes not out of malice, but just because, hey man, he did his part. Let the dude have a Twinkie or something. He deserves
That's
it.
great.
Like,
Unfortunately, we were not aware the situation was far more dire than we expected on that.
yeah, having that misconception, like, oh, I guess he's just in between roles, he's letting himself relax, that's fine. That's one
Wakanda,
thing.
whatever, man.
That's one thing, but I'm trying to say, like, they were actually trying to like attack him, say like, oh, he's just turning himself into a shrimp, he's letting himself go,
Yeah.
he doesn't respect it himself, he doesn't respect the roles, he's being a shitty actor. I'm like, motherfuck you.
Bro, come on.
Like now, and now we realize that it's because he was fighting fucking cancer. No, extra fuck you.
Yeah,
Extra-
Unfortunately,
okay,
as we
extra-
find out, he wasn't fighting, guys.
he was losing.
He was losing. I'll give it to the man, though. I respect his decision to not let anyone know about this. It's a very private matter, and as a Hollywood star, your life is on the limelight constantly. If you had to add the constant noisiness of the paparazzi on top of pity at that, I don't think I couldn't deal with that crap.
That's not the way Chadwick wants to be viewed.
Exactly. Besides, also, come on, dude, that shit is personal. You wanna keep it for yourself.
It's personal unless Chadwick decides that he wants to share with the public.
And
I apologize. I'm not trying to make a joke here, but my respect for the man has I already liked him, but my respect for the man has increased tenfold. That man was how long was he fighting this thing?
Since 2016, from
In
what we
his
can tell.
colon. This dude was fighting butthurt for 4 years, and he did not stop swinging those claws until he's... No, I mean it, serious, 100%. He did not stop fighting until he may have not won, but that motherfucker went down swinging. And I cannot help but to honor that. He walked into the plains of Africa where the ancestors were waiting, and they were waiting for him with open arms.
A lot of his movies were successful, but we can all agree the one movie that has solidified him as one of the iconics in Hollywood was the Black Panther in 2018.
It's the one that put him on the
map.
No. As you say yourself, he had a career before. It's just he wasn't quite in the spotlight. Like, you hear Chadwick Boseman and you go, oh yeah, it's that guy from that movie. But now when you hear him, you go, oh shit, Black Panther. No offense to all his previous roles. We know he had a fantastic performance, but he hit it when the iron was very nice and hot.
Jace Burner on YouTube comments, you gotta pay them to stay in shape. You're right.
That is true.
Like, that's one of the reasons why he's huge. He's like, I'm hanging up the claws. I want to eat pasta again.
You know what?
I want to not feel bad about myself. How do I do that in Australia? I don't want to feel bad about myself.
You know what, Hugh? We understand. You did a fantastic role as the Wolverine. Nobody will forget you as anything else. You enjoy your pasta. It's cool. Just like Mr. Picard can enjoy his pizza.
Yeah.
These people are human. Let's not forget that, please.
Chadwick Boseman was an awesome guy. Like, he was also an iconic figure, a hero to the African American community.
Like, for real, once, even during the whole time that he's shot up to superstardom, he did not stop to, he did not turn his nose up at any opportunity to help out with kids in hospitals who are dealing with cancer and leukemia and stuff. He would go and visit them. Sometimes he would go just as himself. Sometimes he would try to dress up a little bit as if it was, it's T'Challa outside. And he would actually come to them and talk to them. How you doing, kid? They would always greet him with the Wakandan salute. And the fucking thing is he's fighting this shit himself.
He knows he could have been there in those beds.
He was right there. He knew he was right there, but he put the brave face on, and he put his best acting.
No, he did. To the very end, that actor waltzed onto the stage, full of sound and fury. But this time, I like to feel like it signified something. You know what it reminds me of? Also, Jace over here saying he gave a hero to an entire race. You know what?
Yes.
I'll be the first to admit, I don't care much about forced diversity. But, yes, you are 100% correct. In these times of difficulty, the people of color could have used a beacon of light to rally behind, and yeah, he was that man.
You remember when we reviewed Black Panther?
Yes.
When it came out?
It was fun.
One of the things that I was...
Shuri's still adorable.
We'll get to Shuri in a minute. One thing that I remember was, I was feeling how he kept himself dignified, not just as the role of T'Challa, but outside. He kept himself with the air of holy shit. I just realized I'm stepping into a role that people are going to be talking about for generations now because I'm helping bring the black community forward and help bring this up. I've got to live up to that. I've got to own up to that. Yeah. And one of the things that I remember when we were talking about the movie Black Panther, we were seeing it in the theaters, and the atmosphere that you get of it, of how everyone's, of how the community is in that nation, and how they present it. I remember one thing that stuck out, and I was actually choking up a little bit because I was seeing how they present Wakanda as this beautiful place of the future with tradition is I wish I could be there. I wish that I could be a citizen of Wakanda because you have proper peace and equality and shit, and it's not because of race or anything like that, but it's because that's how they bring their kingdom up and rise everyone together. And it says something
Except
like...
for those jackasses in the mountains that keep trying to start fights every 5 minutes. I swear to
Yeah,
God, man.
it's like, and it turns out like they just have a different view, but they
It's okay. We're all vegetarians.
Shout out to Winston Duke for bringing such affability to
I will give it to that
man.
movie. See, I gotta be honest with you. When I watched Black Panther the first time, I was expecting just another origin story. You know, we go to the beats, we make the jokes, we have the fight scenes, but I like how they took the usual beats we're used to and they play with them. You know, like the prince himself, T'Challa, he's constantly struggling between the responsibility that he's dealing with and the death of his father and having to manage a whole kingdom with the fact that the world is like, hey, wait a second, what the hell's going on? And, you know, the usual jackass rival turns out to be a vegetarian guy who simply disagrees on the ideology. He doesn't have any actual beef with him. And, well, there's no need to speak about Killmonger. We expected...
The only origin story we got was from the villain.
We got some genuine actual depth where even if you do not agree with the villain and you believe that he needs to be stopped, you understand the point of the motives that he's bringing. So I like it how in the movie, even though ultimately the plot wasn't anything groundbreaking or full of plots and twists and turns, what it brought to the what was it I gonna use? It's meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
But it's damn good meat and potatoes. It's sirloin steak with meat and garlic.
Yo, bro, I haven't had dinner yet, man.
Don't make
Sorry.
me hungry. No, it's cool.
What about those fluffy mashed potatoes with like cheese inside, little bits of garlic with little green herbs? That's some raw.
I love that.
Yeah, those are rough.
Here we go. That being said,
One little thing, Angel, whenever you like move over that way, you tend to like, no.
I apologize.
No, when you exclaim, you sort of do this and you cut yourself out of the camera.
My bad.
Why do you do that? I'm trying to
You know that
fix
thing you
this.
do when you play video games and you're racing and you lean out of the way with the controller when you're really stressed out? Yeah, that's me. All the time.
are you? You're always playing video games in here.
I can't help it. Life is
we're
what a
live,
terrible
dude.
game.
No, it's cool, dude. That being said, we in the Ravens Flock would like to take a moment to, would like to pay a moment in respect for Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman. You were not just a celebrity. You were an icon. You were a hero of the people. And we will miss you.
He wouldn't want us to be silent. You know what he would want us to do?
Yes.
He would want us to hold the fucking line. So you hold it the way the king commands. Yibambe!
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 Wakanda forever!
Wakanda forever!
Fuck, man, that like silence. You're right. It's like silence is one thing and respectful and being dignified, but when it's time to take action, you fucking take action, man. That's what you fucking do, man.
We
You
would
know
like.
what? You're right. You're absolutely right. And man, I couldn't have said it better myself. And
Just like a fucking Endgame, like he was the first one,
You gotta-
along with Shuri and General Okoye.
I heard them
They're the
talking
first
shit
ones.
about me like I wouldn't find
They're
that.
the first ones you
Actually,
see.
doesn't he do that in the original movie? Hey, Killmonger. So it appears that my recently killed Prince T'Challa sent me this picture. I lived, bitch.
Mitsutaka! I never yielded! And as you can see, I am not dead! Like,
Stares in rap music.
no, and fucking Killmonger's like, oh no, man. No, we're not playing that shit anymore. I'm the king now. I make the rules.
And everybody
Fuck that
else
whole
equally
tradition.
goes, well, yes, but actually, no.
I know, right? Like, no, like when he straddles that line beautifully, and he brought, like I mentioned, he brought that gravity with him to the table outside of the role. And one thing that like I've got to like bring out is like when you're being respectful to the memory of Chadwick Boseman, and when you're being respectful to what he's done and how he's helped out in the MCU, that's one thing, and that's fine. But there's an asshole in every fucking story.
Yes.
I don't remember the fucking company.
no, go right ahead. While
Oh,
you're looking
trust
that
me.
up, apparently we got a new comment here.
Face, Ernest, silence followed by a ton of violence.
Well, yes. Everybody knows
We're not
that.
being violent.
No.
Everybody knows
As
that
in-
violence is half the battle. The other half is more violence. That's it. It's just violence.
I think we've been playing too much Doom Eternal.
No, not enough Doom Eternal.
Not enough Doom Eternal.
Oh man, yeah.
But
Apparently.
no, Juan is about to bring up the information right now, but I will basically start off by saying this. There are assholes out there in the community that will use the passive.
Here we fucking go.
Oh, here we go.
I found it. There are assholes who will wind up taking advantage of the passing of Chadwick Boseman, and they wound up trying to do it and shoehorn in their fucking products.
This is like the opposite of a palate cleanser.
Almost immediately, because like we found out from the AP news report that was posted by Washington Post on the day it happened. I actually got it, and I remember the timestamp. It was 22 minutes from the time the article went live.
They hadn't even buried the poor
That's
man.
when we
God
found
damn.
out. And fucking Screen Rant went ahead and put up an article almost right away, almost as if they had something like planned already, which is bullshit.
He's gone. Activate it.
Well, no, hang on.
And their headline was, "Who should replace Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther?" Like, motherfucker, the body ain't even cold yet!
Bruh.
Motherfuck you, Screen Rant!
Can you at least wait until they bury them? You know what? I'm pretty sure even the executives at Marvel are like, let's take some time to let the people mourn before we bring out the next Black
And
Panther.
there are also assholes who are trying to use the passing of a celebrity to try and sell their own products or push their own agenda.
Angel?
Funny you mentioned that.
Are you gonna bring this up, or do you have a different one? Please tell me if you have a different one.
Oh, I have a different one on this one.
Okay, I'll talk about this one while you pull up yours.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'll have your turn, alright?
Okay, for any of you guys who know G Fuel Energy, they put up a tweet on August 29th, 4:37 p.m. Eastern Time,
Oh, God damn it.
with a quote from Chadwick Boseman saying, "Purpose is the essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill." And it's got this beautiful fan art that they didn't credit. Hang on. Yeah. And yeah.
Kind of looks like Batman.
Yeah, like, are we promoting Batman?
We're promoting
Are we
Batman.
promoting Batman?
Well,
No.
Chadwick was basically Batman, but with like,
So you got
Panther Man.
No, like,
I mean, cats
Okay.
are cool.
so number one, motherfucker, if you're gonna steal somebody's art,
At least
put their
Chris.
fucking name on it. Put some respect on that name.
Those
right?
artists need to eat more than the actual starving children surrounding the walls.
What's number 2, Juan?
Number two, are you really so blatant in your lack of faith in humanity that you have to pull this shtick to try to take a quote from Chadwick Boseman while he was alive that has nothing to do with anything, steal someone's artwork of him, and put it up on your energy drink Twitter page? Really?
Yes.
Really?
We here at Company TM are extremely sorry for the passing of insert person name here, but we believe that if you consume enough of our product, you will find yourself once more in the state of mind of insert the name of person here. We stand for the equality, diversity, and promotions of insert cause here.
Like,
TM.
here's an idea. How about you not be dicks during this time and not do that?
Wow.
Immediately after, because I didn't just screenshot the thing. I screenshot as much of the fucking responses that I can get.
And what is the
Good.
general
Well, the first
consensus?
response, y'all out here really stealing art for a cloud post? Bruh.
Bruh.
Another one, calling himself Crusader, says, "How dare you make this tweet after months of staying silent and ignoring the multiple black lives lost from police brutality and the protests? And on top of that, you use," and they credit the artist's name, Boss Logic's image, without crediting them?
Wow.
You guys are such performative cloud chasers, it's sickening.
We would like to take a nice shout out to the actual artist of this beautiful painting.
Boss Logic.
Boss
Boss
Logic.
Logic.
First off, sick work, bro, and I am sorry these bastards took you for a ride. I do hope you get the recognition you deserve. I cannot even begin to imagine how long it takes to make something like that, man.
Not just get recognition, but also take these bastards down, man. Fuck.
That ain't
You're
gonna
using
happen.
your intellectual property.
How much you want to bet? Hold on, I'm going to look up G Fuel Energy's Twitter page, and I'm going to check to see if they actually took it down. If they did, God fucking bless them. Because like, oh shit, we fucked up. Let's backtrack. Just back it up. Just back it up. Back it up. Just back it up. Hang on.
See, here's the other
You
one.
see?
In this time and frame,
What was it?
August 29th. Don't worry, I'll find it. You go ahead. and
who's
keep
the
up.
stupid PR person who decided that, bro, we are in the age of the internet right now. If you steal art, it takes like 5 minutes for somebody to go, hey, wait a second, I know who drew that. Like, it takes minutes, seconds for people to realize somebody has stolen art. You think whoever's working at the PR department would know better than to do something that's stupid? Do you think that if you steal it from an obscure DeviantArt dude somewhere, people are not gonna notice?
That shit ain't gonna fly. We've been on the receiving end before when someone tried to steal our intellectual property, and trust me, dude, there's a reason you haven't heard of those assholes again.
I'm not arrogant, but I know for a fact that we are a very small channel compared to the others. It took us, how long? 10
8
seconds?
years.
20 seconds to realize that somebody stole our logo for a while, and we're like, no, stop that shit.
Yep.
It took us 10 seconds. The rest of the internet barely knows who we are. Do you think they're gonna do something for a well-liked art? Bro, what the fuck? Remember
What
when
the fuck?
Sony?
If they're gonna use their art, you better credit them, otherwise...
Right.
We'll find out. Here, they still fucking have it up.
They still have
They
it
still
up.
fucking have it up.
Amazing.
These fucking assholes still have it up.
Astounding.
Look.
Shame
it's
on
still up.
D-Fuel. Shame
Fucking
on you.
hell.
Can't you report that tweet?
Really?
You can technically report it for
Wait,
plagiarism.
no, they got ratioed to death though.
Oh man, wait until that stock drops.
Alright, let's shift over to Angel because there's something Angel would like to share on the same subject.
Sean King ignites online backslash after allegedly using his death to promote a book. Social justice activist Sean King, was that the football player that kneeled? Or was that a different guy?
No, that's
Okay, different guy.
That's Colin Kaepernick, dude.
That one got some shit on him too later. But
go on,
that's
go on.
different.
That
He
nothing
was
to do with
accused on Twitter of using the death of the movie star to promote his book, sparkling major backslash. He's been reported by a Twitter account called @BerryWhiteGuy.
Yeah, that's a reliable source.
He outright says fidelity to facts, science, and logic. So I can respect that he's trying to aim for something. He's the one who found the Twitter of this guy and basically posted it going, "I am so tired of this man profiting of Black Death." Another activist called King's email grotesque. And let me tell you a little excerpt from the email, so you hear how fucking skeevy this sounds.
Go ahead. Read it
Oh,
out.
by the way, the guy is claiming that he's not getting paid for this, but those words ring empty. He says, and I quote, hang on, let me find the actual email. Give me a second here. I gotta find this thing.
Go ahead, man, go ahead.
Have we had any new comments generated?
Not yet.
Okay, we'll get it.
Okay, here it is. I hope you're all hanging in there. Yesterday I sent an email checking on everybody, and just a few hours later we learn of the death of Chadwick Boseman. Life is so very fragile. Tomorrow is not promised, the email said. And for all of 6 years, everywhere I go, people ask me, Sean, how do I actually use my life, my skills, my time, my energy to impact and change the world? The email added. My book, Make Change, is 272-page answer to that question.
I'm done.
He claims
Come on,
he
motherfucker.
claims that he got paid a year ago to write it, and he outright says that he updated the email to also mention Chadwick Boseman, and he doesn't regret it at all. So, in other words, you didn't write the book in response to his death. You had the book ready, and you hooked it up to his death so you could sell your shit.
No, as in he already wrote the book and put out the book. He's like, oh hey, this is an email that he had the second part of it already written out,
Yep.
and he sort of like copy and pasted like on top, like, oh shit, Chadwick Boseman died. I better add that on top of it. Like, dude, that's that's like vanilla
So-
ice cream and Staples. No, it
Yeah.
doesn't fit.
No.
So fuck, man.
So what we're trying to say is here, folks, and this is a huge call out to anybody who's trying to do it. Please, if you want to promote your own business, if you want to promote your own product,
You go ahead, you do
do you, dude.
but don't be a gigantic asshole and use the death of a celebrity or of a big figure in the entire world just to push your business.
Bro, come on. Have some respect.
Have some
All we're
Put
asking...
some respect on that name.
Some goddamn respect.
Let me put
Put
it...
some respect on that name.
Let me put it this way. There's people in this world that we do not like. We will not shed a tear if those people died. But after they are gone, I would still not speak ill of them because they are gone. Okay? If they are gone, it doesn't matter what you say at that point. They are dead. What could you do to hurt them? Nothing. It's done.
I do have a plan on visiting his grave with a full ladder, though, but that's not.
All
what
you are
I'm saying.
doing is hurting a slab of rock. Point in case is, I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing, but it's been very ingrained in me that it's a bad idea to speak ill of the dead even if you don't like them. They are gone, move on. What I'm seeing here amounts to pure scum. You are using someone's death to sell your product. Even if you are not making a single penny out of this, then that's still just as bad because you're using someone's death to promote your product. Come on,
It's
man.
no better than the fucking National Enquirer.
His body is not even cold yet. God damn.
Jace brought it over here saying, let me just copy and paste the link to my Amazon affiliate on any tragedy that happens.
Oh my god.
Wrong.
We are sincerely sorry for the death of Chadwick Boseman. You should join us in the chat on the Ravens vlog next time when we spend 3 hours talking about it.
Oh no. If
Like-
you ever catch me doing any other
Use promo code BLACK20
Use,
in memory of Chadwick Boseman.
use promo code Black Lives Matter when it makes us money.
Listen here, folks.
We can't make a promo code that long.
Says
Folks
who?
watching, if you ever
The
catch us
blast.
doing any of that stupid shit, mainly from Angel, then
Hey.
you have the right to
He's right, though.
smack
Well, shut up.
us. You have the right to smack us down before
Like-
if we ever say anything that stupid.
I am well aware that I am not the most socially adapted person, but even I know better to do something like, bro, what the
I know.
This feels beyond bad. This feels like no common sense was employed in this decision.
You know what it is? It's National Enquirer style bullshit. How many times do you see a National Enquirer fucking like tabloid stupid newspaper and see in the front edge like the real truth of Michael Jackson now that he's dead?
Yeah.
The real truth, the real secrets of Elvis or whoever passed away. Like, oh, they really had secret alien DNA.
Yeah, no.
It's death profiteering in the cheapest, most hackney way. Even, okay, I know that we're not really talking about WWE anymore,
Yeah.
but like, when Eddie Guerrero passed away,
Rest in peace.
for a while, they had Rey Mysterio, like, hawking all about, like, remember Eddie Guerrero shit in their store for the longest time. And it was so undignified, and it was such shoehorned shit.
Like, I don't understand if you hate the guy, but
he passed away. Like, dude,
he
no.
did.
That's
That,
profiteering.
honestly, that just sounds like cowardice. They're not around to argue back or prove their innocence, so you can talk all the shit you want about
Well,
them.
so that's talking shit. It's like, oh, hey, remember Eddie, remember Eddie, remember Eddie.
Well, it's
Long
like-
live Eddie, buy
You,
Eddie shit, buy
you
Eddie
can
shit.
use
It
them
was-
however you want to because they're not around anymore.
And it felt so hackney. It was so cheap and stupid. It was so bad.
What is it with this society?
Jason's saying the clickbait magazine. Oh, President Orange's favorite news source. You're
Yeah.
not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not forget though, that clickbait magazine will make a million articles about President Orange whether he wins or loses.
No, they'll say like, oh, the greatest guy. He saved
Oh, they will.
everyone. With
They
an Area
will.
51
We'll forget
meeting.
though. They will until it becomes inconvenient to do so, and then they'll turn it around and just dump a truck of dude, they don't care. Love and hate don't matter. What matters is controversy. Controversy sells the papers. Honestly, at this point, I'm a little surprised that magazine hasn't gone out of business by now. Who the Okay, guys, somebody do some research out there. Tell me, who buys this shit?
Old people who are bored and very gullible.
Is this the same reason why there's people still using AOL Internet even now?
Yes.
Mein Gott.
And net zero. And net zero.
What the fuck is net zero? Is this one of those things that I was too far away from this country to understand when I came here in 2003?
Net Zero and Juno Internet. They were free. They were a free internet service.
Wasn't Juno that movie with Michael Cera and that chick that got pregnant? Oh, Christ.
That was before.
Bro, you're losing me here.
Okay. Net Zero and Juno Internet were free internet services that limited you on speeds on how you used to go, and it was with dial-up internet, as in get the phone cable, plug it up to your computer, phone cable style, old school modem internet. But if
José,
you paid
apaga la
$9.90
internet que tengo que usar el teléfono. Fuck me.
But if you paid like $9.95 a month, you get Juno and Net Zero Premium, where you actually get faster speeds, and it's still modem internet.
Remember when AOL tried to use their Roadrunner as a mascot for a while?
They did. But you know what? Let's move along. I don't want to talk about
Right.
old ancient technology.
Right.
But we do want to talk about old mascots. But then again, not one as old as a Roadrunner or a Looney Tunes or anything like that. Someone who's only a couple years older than us.
Oh.
Someone who has helped define our generation. A mascot that has brightened our days, given us a spot of sunshine to look up into the galaxy.
Sorry,
Who would teach us how to smash. Who would teach us how to brawl. Who is a doctor. Who is a professor of world history.
Should I call her?
I'm talking, of course, about the world's mightiest plumber, Super Mario.
It's a hit.
Apparently, this month is the 35th anniversary
It
of
is.
Super Mario Brothers.
The iconic plumber that jumped onto the screen all those years ago has gone through so many changes and incarnations while somehow still remaining the same. A testament to the sheer potential staying power of Nintendo's all-consuming, all-devouring mascot. All will be part of the plumbing conglomerate.
The
And yet, it's funny. Go ahead, Zay.
No, the Super Mario Brothers game has been iconic for decades on every Nintendo platform. You will
Since
not
Nintendo
find
came out.
Yes, you will not find a single Nintendo
Platform that doesn't have a Super Mario Brothers game.
You know what I remember? This beautiful picture. Somebody took an HD picture of the first level of Mario. It was this beautiful picture with like 1080p, 400 degree HD, everything, right?
Yeah.
And the comment goes, you know what the funny thing is though? The entire Super Mario game is smaller than the picture you just posted. And I'm like, huh.
In terms of like
Technology
storage
has come a
space,
long
it's
way.
Like megabytes and kilobytes and shit. Like it's bigger. It's smaller than this image.
So gentlemen, in celebration of the glorious mustachioed man to ever grace the internet, I would like to ask you, what was your first experience with Mario?
Jose and I were lucky enough. We had other family members, cousins who owned a Nintendo Entertainment System, and they had like the Power Pack system that came with the Zapper.
Now you are playing with power!
That came with the running pad, which never worked for some reason, and it had the 3-in-1 game cartridge. Hold on. Why buy National Enquirer when you can just go to any random internet clickbait site?
That is a good question, but it relies on the fact that the people who read National Enquirer actually know how to use the internet.
Which they don't.
Trust me, folks. There are still, despite the advancements of technology, there are still people who are willing to pay bucks for a piece of paper.
A sucker's born every minute.
But anyways,
So, you were saying, Juan?
Alright, yeah, what I was saying was like we were lucky that we had cousins who had who had the Nintendo Entertainment System
And
with
we
the 3-in-1 cartridge pack of
Oh my
Duck
God.
Hunt, World Class Track Meet,
and Super Mario Brothers.
Oh,
It was amazing. And of course, we played other games.
Who's in there?
hello there. Come in, please.
You want to come in? You want to talk Mario?
A mysterious
Ladies and
sprite.
gentlemen, all viewers, we have a special guest joining us to talk about the
Take a seat, I gotta stretch my
35th
legs.
anniversary of Nintendo's Super Mario Brothers.
That would be Zayana Rose is here.
Take a seat. I need to stretch my legs, dear.
Here.
So,
There you go.
You go stand in the back.
I don't mind being part of the background for once, because now it's part for my little thing. See, I knew
You've
about
got the
Mario.
#1 mic on in your life, so say hi.
Hello.
I
Fancy.
think the mic is.
Does it work?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Here you go.
Okay.
You just hang on to that.
So, my first experience with Mr. Mario was, well, I knew about the Nintendo games because of a cousin of mine who also had a Nintendo, but I never had a chance to own them until my uncle came to visit from the United States, and he gifted me a Super Nintendo and Super Mario World.
Oh, nice!
I got
you
lucky.
also started on Super
I
Nintendo?
started,
Same as
and
me.
I will lie, this is the part where I throw my embarrassing experience, because I was a small child and I was what the scientists refer to as dumb as fuck. I did fairly okay until I got to the special world. You guys know what the special world is?
Oh, yes, we do.
8 levels. 8 levels of the hardest bullshit the game can throw at me, and I swear, I was close. No, I straight up started crying in one level because I couldn't beat that one stupid fucking stage where the brown forest and the bullet bills coming at you from every direction your asshole is pointing at. And when I did it, it was so amazing, I cried in relief.
Not in joy or fear or pain, but relief.
And when I got to the final special level, when you are running, it's the final level is 100 seconds long, and you gotta get through it fast. And as you're running, the last stretch is just a long plane to the goal with the words in coin spelled, "You are a superstar." And I felt a feeling of triumph so great. I felt as if Hercules himself went up to Olympus, found his dad, and punched him in the nutsack.
Like,
It
how
was
dare you
great.
abandon me, old man?
But yeah, no, that was pretty fun. I enjoyed it, and Yoshi was amazing. And also because I barely understood English, when I got that game when I started learning English. So imagine my surprise when I found out many of the locations in Super Mario World are named after food. I was halfway through the game and going, wait, this is Butterbridge. El puente está hecho de mantequilla. What the fuck? But what the fuck?
So, hold on. Jay Spurt is saying, Mario was my realization that I would never be a good gamer. To this day, I still haven't beaten it or any other Mario game. And then wooing when Zayana jumped into the fray here.
Yay!
I don't know who Jace is, but apparently they're a fan of yours.
Cool.
So, Diana, what was your first experience with a Super Mario Brothers game?
Same as him.
Super Mario? Was it as horrible as
His experience, or
Well, my sister and I had a shirt, so every time we died, we swapped.
Oh, well, see, that's not
You
fair.
didn't- like,
She had a backup clone. That's
You didn't
bullshit.
have a two-player game, did you?
No, we also had one controller.
That would do it. Yeah.
If you had two, you could play as
We were
Luigi.
not rich enough to have 2 controllers.
we were lucky that our cousins had like the deluxe NES system So we had a 2-player, so one would play Mario, the other play with Luigi. And this is Luigi with the white suspenders and the green shirt.
Yeah, he looks
And
so
Mario
cool on
was
him.
wearing the red suspenders and the brown shirt.
It also introduced the cape, aka the greatest thing the Mario franchise has ever made.
It was so weird. But like the thing that I'm always gonna remember whenever we would try to play the game is our cousins would actually. I know I'm off screen, but that doesn't matter. Our cousins would help us out in. I think it was World 6 or World 8?
World.
Where you
Which one?
Where you can hit the one Koopa shell into the stairs and get
That
out
was
of it.
World 3.
That was
Okay,
great.
Well, see, I never did that.
6 is
Also,
the
I don't even remember most of what I played for that
6
because my
is the
memory
one.
is crap.
If I recall, 6 is the one in the big
My
deep
memory is
forest, which
complete
was like my favorite.
I hear
That's
you.
all
Like,
good.
I'm just happy because Super Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
I never got to play that, so
And
I freaked.
we hadn't gotten to play anything on the NES, the Super NES. We skipped over that console. We were blessed enough to get an N64 when it came out, and of course,
You're lucky.
it was a long time ago. And then the first game that our mom and dad got for us was Super Mario 64.
It was.
I never got to play that.
It's
Well,
okay.
now you're gonna get a chance.
Oh god, and Pokemon Snap, and now I can actually play Pokemon Snap when it comes out. So I'm like,
Well, don't worry, you're going to get a chance to because according to Polygon.com from September 3rd, Nintendo is bringing Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy
see,
to the
I
Switch.
played Galaxy with
Galaxy
my
was fun.
cousin. I helped her beat a lot of the levels.
Galaxy was
So now I
the
can play it for myself.
Super Mario Sunshine was the big Mario game for GameCube after
Yes,
afterwards. So
if I recall.
And I remember this bad joke of like, oh, the backpack essentially like, oh yes, clean everything off, wash away the filth, destroy the unbelief. Wait, what? Press A for the next round.
what the hell?
Oh! It was this horrible joke. I don't remember where it came from. I think it was
Man,
either
Galaxy
VHS or-
was way better than it had any right to be.
Yes, it was.
Gave me a little trouble with the motion controls, but
Oh,
Galaxy
Geeks
was
5
just...
Ever is saying over here, oh, Angel, Jace, someone take the hacksaw away from Angel.
What hacks? What are you talking about?
the
The hacks doesn't
saw.
exist. It's a myth. Go away.
And Geeks 5 Ever, I've been playing Mario since I was 2. I'm 32 now. I don't remember my folks getting the console. I just remember it was there.
Maybe it was always
You
there.
remember pressing buttons, you don't remember too much about what else.
Talk about that saw. Put it
Oh,
away,
it's
Angel.
fine.
Yeah, Angel.
See, all I remember is... Okay, but how about this saw, though?
If you guys remember the sun
What?
level,
Yes.
Oh,
all
my
I can ever
apologies.
think is,
There we
isn't
go.
that Florida? The sun level.
I don't remember much of World myself.
If
except
anyone
for
wants to recreate that level, just come to Florida. In the
See.
summer, in the summer.
Real.
You will see it, as long as it's not raining.
Oh, yeah, no. Absolutely. The 35th anniversary, like, it's... God, 35 years!
I know.
Fucking
That dude has been
Really?
been
35 years?
wahooing for like 3.5 decades.
I'm old.
He's
That's like
Mario
that's
is like
5 years older than me.
Mario
okay.
is 4 years older than me.
You're older than me. It's only 1 year older than me.
One thing I do
feel
remember
now.
that I really did love was that that game introduced me to the beauty of secrets, because beating Secret World, I had no idea what was going to happen. But when you beat Secret World, the entire overworld of Mario changes, and the colors shift from spring to summer and then fall as you go through the game. So the big green forest gets these beautiful golden patches,
so fucking
and the
weird.
levels where you used to run suddenly have different
I never
coloration.
knew that.
Yeah, that's the thing that happens. The entire overworld changes when you beat the special world. Also, because maybe it's because I was just a child, but it was the last time Bowser was genuinely scary. That completely black
I need
stage.
to. Hopefully, they'll have this thing.
You
It's
don't know.
fun.
I need to see now.
You don't
It's
know
fun.
Scary Bowser until you hit him in Super Mario
Dun,
64,
dun.
and you've got to try to take him on in this boss level. When you're this small, imagine the model of Mario this small.
You mean
and
like me?
Sorry, yeah.
Compared to him?
No, and imagine Bowser being this size in comparison, like from his head to his torso here. And you're this small, and you see this giant thing.
No, the size of my phone represents Mario. There.
And like fucking Bowser had the eyes locked directly on you, not the character, on you, looking at the screen, and it was terrifying.
That's when you throw it at the screen. And
Fun
you run
fact,
away
Monster
screaming.
Hunter World did the same thing. The final boss, Shadow Eyes Pala, when you break his armor shell, its true form, the eyes are programmed to look at the screen, not at the hunter. It also never blinks.
How about no?
Okay, and Geeks 5 Ever is hopping out.
saying, have a great night, guys. I have to do a live stream reading shitty fan fiction.
No problem, dude.
That's the best.
Have fun.
We love reading shitty and terrible fan fiction, and we're glad that you jumped in. Thank you, Geeks Fight
It
Back.
was Dumbledore.
That being said, I think my best Super Mario Bros. Experience, like, even though the first one is good, my best experience with it would have to be with Super Mario 64 and every Mario Kart racing game ever.
Ah, Mario Kart. The destroyer of friendships. The increaser of divorce
Mainly
rates.
with Rainbow Road.
Remember Mario...
Rainbow Road. We tried
Hey,
to do that
I got
Rainbow
so
Road.
good at that
Well,
part
that's
one
not-
time.
Oops.
I got so good at that
Sitting.
I
Okay.
actually had someone throw the controller at the ground and leave.
Fucking
Impressive.
threw it and left.
It's because I was this close to actually falling off, and I just whoop, and then they just flew off.
Oof.
They're just like, this is rigged.
Yeah.
You know what I
used to
remember?
think that too, and then Nintendo decided to ruin friendships even further. They decided to come out with 2 games that changed the landscape of like gaming with the Mario franchise for years to come. Mario Party and
Yep.
Super Smash Brothers.
Ah,
That
yes.
fucking commercial for Super Smash Brothers.
Something's
Me,
gone wrong
you,
in the happy
and
land
you
of
and me.
Nintendo.
So happy. It's only one for me is you, and you for me.
Man.
So happy together. You have these people in mascot outfits of Mario and
Beating
Yoshi
the
and Pikachu
hell out of each other.
beating the fuck out of each other to that song at some random ass park. I can't see me loving
Nobody
nobody
but
but
you.
you for all my life.
That was great.
It
Man.
was the dumbest commercial ever, but it sold us.
The amount of
Mario
hours.
Party, like everyone's like that was like the best 4-player fucking console game you could get.
It's
Everyone
Monopoly
had
if
the
you
chance to
really
fuck with
hate
each
your
other.
loved ones.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
Now, some more information for the Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Yes.
It's expected to come out on September 18th, and it will be available on March 31st next year.
So we'll have to wait another year, but they will include optimized 3D versions of the games I mentioned
Mentioned earlier, 64, Sunshine,
and Galaxy in one package. So Nintendo promises high resolutions
and an optimized gameplay experience on the Switch.
And it's gonna be $60 because that's what Nintendo games do.
and they're also re-releasing the new Super Mario Brothers 3D World for the Wii U.
So
we're getting
releasing the
4
Wii U
reviews.
game for the Switch.
Okay, that's
That
nice.
will be and that
Wait a second. Wait a goddamn second. Isn't that the game when you can play with like 4 players at once and they all bounce each other like they're made of goddamn rubber?
I think so.
I've
Oh.
never played any Wii U.
It
So
was originally for the Wii and then it was ported to the Wii U. You can play with 4 players at once, Mario, Luigi and 2 Toads. The problem is, the levels are exactly the same. So you got 4 dudes bouncing off each other because they can take the same space. Can you imagine playing Mario with 3 people made of flubber just going all over the... It is... You guys remember that? We played that a while ago. It was terrible. I hated it. Let's do it again.
Ridiculous. It was years ago. Like, just imagine that, and everyone using one Joy-Con thing each. You got 4 people on the little Joy-Con trying to play this shit, and it'll be a godless nightmare.
Oh, it gets
I
worse.
can't wait.
It gets worse.
it's
The
better
Wii U
if you plug it
version.
into the TV.
You know what I mean? Like, you still need 4 controllers to run on the thing. But yeah.
By the way, it
That
gets
means you
worse.
just need to buy the extra set.
Hang on a minute.
Which is
folks.
money.
Still says it gets worse. What is
The
it?
Wii U version of Super Mario 3D World allows one player to control the tablet and other players to be the players. The tablet player can create platforms in midair to make things easier or infinitely harder. Imagine you're trying to make that one jump that's gonna save your life and suddenly he just spawns a platform right on top of your head.
So basically, if you give it to the person who likes to troll people,
Yeah, you know how in the D&D game sometimes the game master can turn into a sadist?
Yeah.
Welcome to that, but worse.
Jace Burner here saying Mario 64 cheat where you can backwards bounce on your butt up to the up the stairs. I remember us doing
Yeah.
that. And fucking hard mode Monopoly Mario Party. Yeah.
Yep.
That's basically
Oh,
it.
do you guys recall that brief time when Mario Kart Racing went to the Wii? It's always the Wii that starts the bullshit. And suddenly introduced 20-player racing. But it kept the rules exactly the same. So the more players hang back, the more overpowered tools they get. So you think you're winning, and suddenly you see like 8 blue shells fly, followed by 7 cannonballs, and like 3 people going. You remember the movie Red Line?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yes, I love Red
oh my
Line. It was so dumb.
goodness.
So Super Mario 3D World and Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury
Will be enhanced version, and it'll be released on February 12th of
Nice.
next year. But what's coming out, what's online today for September 3rd, Nintendo is re-releasing Super Mario All-Stars, the Super NES collection, which includes the upgraded versions of Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Bros. And the Lost Levels, Super Mario Brothers 2, and Super Mario Brothers 3 with 16-bit graphics.
Nice.
Ooh. And
They're giving us a whole 16 bits, people.
That's a lot of Mario.
What? 252-bit graphics now?
That's a lot of
What are
spaghetti.
we up to now with the Switch? Like 4K graphic availability? Yeah, no, we're getting a whole 16 bits.
And it was released 2 days ago. Yeah, I know you are. Admit it, so if you had a Switch, you would be all over that.
Stop reminding me that I don't have a
Smile on my
Switch
fucking
yet.
face.
Okay.
Zayan's got a Switch.
I've been playing Animal Crossing. When I
Oh,
remember
right.
to go on.
I mean, when you get down
I
to it,
have
and
Raymond, okay? I have Raymond.
you know what I find?
The best freaking cat.
I apologize for deviating here, but you know what I find hilarious about Animal Crossing?
What?
Since Animal Crossing came out roughly when the plague was in full swing, everybody held on to the idea of, hey man, get away from the world and go to your island until the virus dies, right? However, because of turnip trading, the players have become ludicrously rich, which means that the players have become the 1%.
I'm so rich that I no longer do turnips anymore.
See? She has transcended currency. Look at this bullshit.
$1 million.
So that means that the players of Animal Crossing have become the 1% in their isolated gated communities watching the rest of the world burn down. You went for a vacation, you became a trillionaire.
Oh my
You sick
goodness.
filth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Trillionaire, Jesus.
Degenerate
bro.
fucks.
How dare you? You got no shit. I'm just.
Hey, at least I never actually tried to make people tip me for coming to my island, okay?
That's
Oh
just
God, you're
weird.
right. Some people are fucking weird like that. What the fuck?
I want 5 Nook Mile tickets, and then I also want 1 million bells afterwards.
Wow, they really became the rich bastards. They turned their islands into
Really
tourist
sick if I
resorts,
come to
bro.
someone's island like that, 99,000 bells every single time, but there's no way I'm gonna charge people entry fees. It's stupid.
The one thing that I am glad about, though, is the fact that this beautiful booming trade in Animal Crossing is giving comedian and news reporter John Oliver something to do. You've got him playing as Mr. Dodo now, and he's making bank traveling people, flying people out left and right.
You know who else is getting bank out of this?
I'm bad.
Danny Trejo.
He plays Animal Crossing too?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of
lot of
videos of the
people
man
play
making his
Animal
island,
Crossing,
and he has fallen in love with it. In between running his restaurant, the man is literally going back to Animal Crossing and just... Okay, there was this video. You don't see his face, but he starts laughing when he captures a beetle, and it is the warmest, most genuine laugh coming out of that man's throat, and it was terrifying.
Nora Otaka saying, hello, my royal nerds. And
What up, girl?
Jace is calling the people of Animal Crossing 1%ers.
I told you.
1%ers?
Dude, think about it. They are rich, they are isolated, and they gaslight the community into leaving when they don't want
I
to.
have given a lot of my friends extra bells, okay?
Okay,
when they need it, and
let
I
me ask
give
you something.
everyone, like, extra fruit and everything when they start out, so, I'm...
So you gave them a small loan of 1 million turnips. Is that what you said?
They keep the money. I'm like, here, buy
Okay.
what you want. Upgrade everything.
Question. Do you also shame the villagers you didn't like into leaving?
I don't shame them.
Uh-huh.
But when I get other ones, I'm like, okay, I have a card now.
Uh-huh.
You're leaving, and I want Diana.
This greed needs to be... Dude, this is literally the
I still have my
1%ers.
starting
Rich
villagers.
as
I'm trying
fuck.
to get them to leave because I want Judy.
See?
Oh, God.
See? Are you listening to this shit?
No, I do not hit them on the head
Oh,
with the net.
you don't have to. You just tell them you don't need them anymore and that they gotta go. Listen, buddy, your kind is not wanted in my subjugated greed anymore. Crossing lives matter to me, not you.
Copy of Animal Crossing.
Oh, I'll be the nicest person. I will genuinely never shame anybody into
Actually,
leaving.
have the
Even if I don't
same
get... Even if I don't get the neighbors I want, I will
we've
still
got-
not let them.
You can wear it that way if you want the mic on the right side, and we're wearing it this way.
Remember, I'm a ready.
Yeah, so, and if you want it on the left side,
Okay,
we can
now
get this
it's
way.
good.
But bro, you gotta admit, it's a little too coincidental. Super rich, exclusive, charging people to go to their homes, gaslighting neighbors into
Shameful.
leaving, shaping the entire island to whatever they want to, having so much money
It's all right.
that they have no choice but to do whatever they want to. I am asking once again of you to lend me your turnips.
So you're campaigning right now? No, Angel is trying to be is trying to be populist, and he's trying to be freaking he's trying to be
I'm running for
he's
mayor
trying to be
now.
a social democrat for the world of Animal Crossing, but he's a full-bore capitalist in the real world.
Well, hey man, that's like my most politics. I keep my true personality close to my vest.
You opportunistic motherfucker.
Okay, the truth then. I have a dream that every villager in this island will one day control his own
Walked
destiny.
in, Tiziana. Thank you.
A land of the turnip free, damn it!
All right, Angel, you can get off the soapbox, man.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Hold on.
Don't ask him to get off it, just
Nora.
take him off it.
So exactly as I
Animal
expected.
Crossing is starting Civil War and Game War 1.
Yeah, that's how we're doing it. I'm using turnip as a business to end turnip as a business.
I hope all of your turnips rot.
Oh, they won't. It's called supply and demand. There will always be somebody who wants them.
Well, I mean, all you need rotten turnips for is to catch the flies and the ants, and then they're useless.
So congratulations, you just gave me a way to avoid my problem. Do you think I will not obtain you? Do you think I will not knock on your door of your turnip empire and demand to seize the means of production?
I don't have any more turnips! Joke's on you!
Oh, I'm not there for turnips.
So
I
I'm
don't
thinking
find
motivated.
them anymore.
You spend more time gaming on other games and on 4chan.
Well, fair enough, but the thing is, I don't want your turnips. I want your bug collection. Give me that shit.
You'll have to raid my museum then.
Sounds
They're
good.
all there.
I'm taking it all. It's mine
I
now.
think it's about high time we start wrapping up over here.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Oh.
Folks, if you have a Nintendo Switch and if you haven't taken advantage of it right now, go online and start playing the Nintendo All-Stars Collection with the updated graphics for the classic Super Mario Brothers game.
Nora's over here saying that's why I play Tekken 7, and Jace, so the 1%ers know how to start a plague or on turnips. Oh God, no. Oh my God. that's
Listen,
terrible.
I'm not
Actually,
saying...
if you really want to take them all down, then introduce a turnip plague. Then they can't get richer.
Then
The
they can't
only
get
way
rich
you
off
know
the
that
turnips.
is because you-
Perfect. I have to create some other economy.
See, the problem is, the reason she's telling you that is because she's done it before. This is like Hannibal Lecter of turnips
Actually,
behind a
I
jail.
may have done that to myself.
I told-
Time traveled on accident, and I didn't know that they could rot, and I come
Jesus.
up, I'm like,
They get time travel. They really are the 1%. Damn. Okay,
so I
see.
learned my lesson.
It's
So,
all good.
since we're about to close this thing, because we end at 9, right?
Yes,
Yes.
we do.
I would like to
Alright.
take 5 minutes to just announce the last thing of the day.
Let's have a seat.
I keep forgetting that, I'm sorry.
Get
Let
off
me
the
grab
table.
this saw so I don't get distracted.
Please, listen, come closer
So-
to us, man. Come on, dude.
As you
He
know...
feels comfortable with that in his hand.
Oh, please,
I got
it's
it.
just an incredibly sharp object. Give me a break.
I got it.
As you all know, Mr. Keanu Reeves recently became 56 years old and he still looks not a day over 30. Congrats, bro. You look fantastic.
Happy birthday, Keanu.
Happy birthday,
So-
Keanu.
As we know, Mr. Reeves has decided to make a comic book, teaming up with a writer and Boom Comics, which I believe are the ones that are working on the Power Rangers. He's making Berserker, but without all the vowels, so it's more like...
B-R-S-K-R.
The whole idea is the story of a demigod who is trying to do the jobs that nobody else can do, while he's trying to figure out the cause of his immortality and how to end it. He's tired. They even had a page that recreates the sad Keanu Reeves meme and everything. Now, the company put the thing on Kickstarter for a goal of $300,000. It cleared the goal in 24 hours because
Is this still
because-
up?
it's $300,000. Yeah, that's...
Well, no, is it Kickstarter
Kickstarter still up?
there?
It's done. They cleared it in 1 day. It's open.
No, it's still open. It
I think
takes
it is.
around 30 days
No,
for
it's
it
still-
to officially close.
It's still there, but it made its goal on day 1.
Wow.
So...
I mean, I've actually been part of several Kickstarters like that. It's
So you would think so. People would be happy that Mr. Reeves is getting a sick... No, they are not happy. Some of these industry professionals are... what's the word I'm looking for?
Jealous little bitches?
No. There was a different scientific concept for this one.
Pussies.
Hose mad.
Oh, God.
Those hoes were very mad because they seem to be under the bizarre impression that the company putting it there, even though they have enough money to fund it themselves, is taking money from them, as if people were going to read their products by default. The company has gone on record saying the reason why they did this was not for the money. They did it for publicity. Because when you put something on Kickstarter, people are going to hear about it. And when you attach the name of international superstar, nicest guy in the world, Keanu Reeves, people are going to want to see it. So they did it, they got it, it worked, each living capitalismus and all that shit. And now a bunch of people are mad as fuck that they basically think that Keanu's presence is taking away their customers, even though there was no guarantee that if he wasn't there, they were going to buy their
That they
product.
weren't going to buy their shit to begin
Can
with.
you imagine the level of entitlement to look at Mr. Keanu Reeves and tell him he's being selfish? This is like PETA attacking
God.
Steve
I
Irwin's
heard how-
family, man.
How sweet he was.
The guy's a real national treasure, man.
So you know what? That's cool. Let the hoes remain mad. Let the gardening tools remain in an emotional state of anger. Because Mr. Keanu Reeves has achieved exactly what he
You
wanted.
don't have to zoom in. Here's the
Ah, cool, I'm almost done.
Angels on a pedestal. And
Again.
I'm almost done, trust me.
Are we okay?
So let
Where's
them be
the
mad.
hacksaw?
Let them complain. Because you guys know what this complaint is right now?
It's just them
Publicity. Mr. Man here is going to get his comic book. And when it comes out, I'm going to read it. You know why?
Why?
Because I backed it.
Yeah, here's the freaking truth. Unless
Unless Keanu Reeves is involved in some sort of murder spree or basically trying to scam people
or do some sort of act of criminalism, there is no freaking reason for anybody to be mad at Keanu Reeves just because he's pursuing his own dreams, pursuing his own projects outside
No, you so right. Come on.
the outside of the entertainment, outside of the movie biz.
no stabbies.
Like,
To be
dude,
fair,
just
though.
let him be.
To be fair, though, if he went on a murder spree, all he has to do is, but Your Honor, they killed my dog. And that's all you need to get him out of scuff. Point in case is, a bunch of hoes are mad. Mr. Keanu Reeves is still trending. He's doing good. The Indiegogo campaign is a major success, and I sincerely hope that everything goes well on this one. Die mad, you salty bitch.
And true. And that pretty much wraps it up. I think that's basically.
We're overtime.
Yeah,
Whoops,
we're over
sorry about
time.
that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Real quick, if you want to follow Zayana and their beautiful cosplaying and any other endeavor you want to do, where do they find you? Where do they find you? Come on.
Hell.
Are you on Instagram?
Yes,
What's your
Instagram.
Instagram?
Technically Twitter. I don't really go in there that much.
And what's the tag that we look for?
Sienna Rose.
Zayana, and we spell
Can
it
you spell that?
Xeina.
N-A-R-O-S-E.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, God, for actually saying it right. People call me Xena. I'm like, I'm not Xena the Warrior Princess. No.
Xeina. Easy.
Cool.
So you can
Instagram.com/ZayanaRose.
I haven't been cosplaying much lately.
Well, that's because we haven't been able to get to cons, but
That's
we will
because
soon.
everyone's dying.
Soon I will be Earth.
Yes.
Yay.
And
Flower girl.
Jesse.
and Jency from Final Fantasy VII Remake. I like. Is it okay to have a crush on a friend in a costume, or is that weird? It's
And
No.
I'm gonna be Siri from Witcher 3.
Yep. perfect.
Fuck.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Witcher hot.
Good. All right. Anyways, that pretty much wraps things up. Wancho, go ahead and plug us away.
Thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of the Ravens Flock Live right here on twitch.tv/the Ravens Flock Online and youtube.com/the Ravens Flock. Feel free to once again hit the subscribe button, which is located down here, and hit the notification bell as well, and that way you can follow us on all our programs. And until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/RavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/RavensFlock Online, home of the Wednesday Night War. Search for our podcast and back files on iCloud, on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Spotify. We need to update this card. Support the Ravens Flock on our Teespring store, teespring.com/store/RavensFlock. Use our promo code FSHIP2020 for free shipping. And as I said earlier, hit the notification bell, subscribe to us on twitch.tv/RavensFlock Online and youtube.com/The Ravens Flock. Home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play Live, and the Ravens Flock Live.
All right, folks, it's been fun. It's been real. Thank you very much for tuning into a special Labor Day edition. We are the Ravens Flock, and we are out.
Cheap, cheap.
I'm a sheep.